He's been a more productive quarterback.
By the stats.
By the numbers, and you know what? Maybe by the eye test. Let me throw these numbers at you, Shasky. This is going to blow you away. I was looking at this last night. I couldn't believe it. So Purdy, since the start of the regular season, when they opened up in Pittsburgh.
Last year.
Purdy's thrown for damn near 6,000 yards in 22 games.
Incredible.
40 touchdown passes, 15 picks, completion percentage 68%, rating 109.3. I mean, it's been great. Then you add the 271 yards on the ground, another 2 touchdowns. Phenomenal. Patrick Mahomes in 21 games since the start of the regular season because he sat out the last week of the season. Patrick Mahomes, only 33 touchdown passes, 20 interceptions, 91.8 quarterback rating, 67% completion percentage. I mean, the regular season, the numbers are, I'm like, what? Mahomes has thrown 5 more picks in 1 less game.
Okay, but I mean, are you factoring in the context of one guy makes $50 million, and so your weapons are going to be less expensive, and you have to go younger, which they did through the draft, and the other guy makes less than $1 million, and your weapons are very expensive.
There's no doubt.
Right? Like, that's baked into. The other thing is this, this is just how I view it. You could tell me, Joe, there are 3 young basketball players playing better basketball since the start of last year than Steph Curry. I don't care. It's Steph Curry.
No, I hear you.
I don't care what stats you throw in my face because it's Steph Curry. There are certain guys who supersede the numbers. And Mahomes is at that spot. It's like, to me, and I get it. Purdy's been awesome. To me, it's more of a look how great Purdy's been than Purdy's better than Mahomes.
No,
and I don't think that's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
I think you're just trying to basically say, like, he's been so good, his stats are significantly better than Mahomes.
I think it goes to that, too. You know, look, I'm not taking, yes, I'm going to make myself clear because I know how people twist words. I never said I would take Mahomes over Purdy. That. But I think we underrate how well Purdy has been playing. And these weapons that, these weapons that Purdy has had, Jimmy had these weapons, Trey had these weapons. He's taking this to another level. And so I'm not going to sit here and say these regular seasons, it means nothing here. He's thrown for damn near 600 more yards than Patrick Mahomes. Not only that, it tells me that Purdy hasn't played at such a high level that for some reason we're just scared to say, damn, this guy's playing elite football. And yeah, I get the weapons, right? Mahomes is making all the money. They got rid of Tyreek Hill. He still has Travis Kelce. You still have Andy Reid. You still have Matt Nagy. You have all these great offensive minds in the room. All right, I'm going to take away Matt Nagy. I'm just flexing. Andy Reid's right there. Mahomes is great. There's no doubt about it. But when you look at the side-by-side comparison and you look at just the numbers and you watch the games, Purdy's been excellent. And I think we underrate that. And we're afraid to say it, that Purdy has been playing at a very high level.
But there are, yes, true. But there are certain people where I just don't, the stats are irrelevant. Like Shohei Ohtani. You referenced Shohei Ohtani. And I'm like, I don't need to see stats to know he's freaking awesome. Now, does that data back it up? Of course it backs it up. Here's what I know. Patrick Mahomes in back-to-back years won the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes in back-to-back years was down 10 in the second half of both of those Super Bowls and won the Super Bowl.
No doubt.
Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest players the sport has ever seen.
There's no doubt.
I think in real time, I'm already ready to pass the baton from Brady to him.
Oh, I'm not ready.
And he's not even 30.
Let's chill on that. Let's chill.
Okay, I mean, I get that point of view.
But when people say the weapons that Purdy had, this is why we wanted to see the L.A. Rams game. What did Purdy do without all those weapons in the L.A. Rams game?
He looked really good, but
it was damn near a perfect game.
But they lost.
Yeah, but it was damn near a perfect game. They lost,
I agree.
But it wasn't on him. We came out of that game saying, damn, Purdy was excellent. Look at Jawad Jennings having a career day. Wow. Who's he throwing to here? Threw a perfect down to Roddy Bell. He drops it with his chest. So I think the question's kind of been asked with Purdy without weapons, can he still function as a quarterback? We had a small sample size. He functioned very well as a quarterback.
Who's a young, Jamal Murray. Let's just use Jamal Murray as an example. Like, your heart is into the Steph Curry thing, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
If I came in here with a bunch of data, I was like, Jamal Murray's actually been the better player for the last 2 years, you'd laugh at me.
Steph has been a better player, though. We see Jamal in the playoffs.
I'm just saying, if I had data that supported that the numbers when he's on the floor were significantly better, you'd say, yeah, but it's Steph Curry and he's Jamal Murray.
But you see but also Jamal Murray's playing with probably the best player in the league.
Okay, then maybe I take away Jamal Murray.
So Jokic has been awesome. And I'm not saying, look, again, I want to make it clear.
Pick the guy that you want to pick. Okay, Jalen Brunson. If I said to you, Jalen Brunson, I'm just saying, like, just think of what we sound like. If I came in here to a Warrior market and I was like, Jalen Brunson's better than Steph Curry, look at the numbers. People would be like, it's Steph Curry.
Yeah, no, it's the raw data. I get it. But all I'm saying is we don't give Brock Purdy enough credit. As we look at this Super Bowl, as we look at this quarterback matchup, the numbers have been excellent. And so the Chiefs' defense has been really, really good. Has the Niners' defense been good? No, the offense over the last season and a half has had to carry this defense. They had to carry this defense. Those are facts right there. I get Mahomes as a generational talent. He is. I'm not saying I will take anybody over Patrick Mahomes. I want to make myself clear. By the way, Jimmy did have CMC. He had CMC for a couple games and probably started playing his best football with Christian McCaffrey. So that's not factually correct, 5-0. He did have CMC. Brock Purdy, what he has done, I think we underrate what he's done as we're going into this big game. And we keep talking about Mahomes and Andy Reid and Kelsey and how great Kansas City is. Well, you know what? For the first time in a long time, the Niners may have their quarterback. They may have their quarterback. And so you want to factor in the weapons? Okay, great. We can factor in the weapons all the time. We pick and choose when we do this stuff, right? But Brock Purdy has shown, with weapons or without weapons, the guy's pretty damn good.
I agree with that. I guess
just blows me away that, hold up, real quick. It just blows me in the way that the raw data, because all the fantasy football heads will tell you, we take Mahomes in the 5th round or 4th round of the fantasy football draft. I could wait on Brock Purdy in the 4th round and get better production. It's kind of fascinating to me.
I mean, fantasy football is a whole nother
it's a whole nother weapon.
It's a whole nother algorithm because Matt Stafford for years was a fantasy god.
No doubt.
And everyone was like, yeah, he's never won a playoff game. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but I would say this is that me personally, I don't see a lot of people just that I talk football with that are like, Purdy sucks. Most people are like, yeah, Purdy's really good. Now, do they think he's as good as the numbers that you reference? Probably not. Probably people sleep on that to that degree. I think most normal fans think he's really good.
I would hope so. I still have a segment of friends saying, we just don't know yet.
As in, we don't know what?
We don't know if he's worth the $60 million or the $50 million or whatnot.
That's a different question.
You know what I'm saying? Well, but it's just, that's what we're going to have to start basing this off of. Is he playing as well as a guy who's making $50 million a year?
Well,
Purdy is playing as well as a guy making $50 million a year. It's hard to say it. It's hard to compartmentalize, but Purdy has played as well as a guy who's making $50 million a season over the last season and a half.
Who's making $50 million? Deshaun Watson, who sucks, and Tua, who is always hurt, okay, and had a monster year last year. A monster year statistically.
Playing a lot better than those guys.
I would take Purdy in a San Francisco second over Tua and Deshaun, and it's not even close. So if that's what $50 million is worth, then Purdy is absolutely worth $50 million.
But isn't it crazy that Mahomes, who's getting this 50, that Purdy over the last season and a half in the regular season has played just as well as it's hard to say. It's hard to compartmentalize. And I know people are going to crush me for saying it.
He was an MVP candidate. I don't think it's that outlandish.
I think I'm looking at the Comcast Business Text line. I think people do think it's outlandish. It is kind of crazy that this guy, who's the last pick of the NFL draft, has played as well, if not better, in the regular season than one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen.
I mean, there's been, there's different ways of looking at this. Mahomes makes his money winning 4 games last year on the road, essentially. Mm-hmm. I guess the one was at home against Miami. But, he's a playoff guy now. The regular season is irrelevant to Patrick Mahomes.
No doubt.
There is almost nothing he can do in a regular season to sway everyone's opinion. Now it's about legacy and championships and filling the cabinet. Whereas Purdy is trying to get that first one.
Yep,
I just think they're at different spots in their career.
No, they're in different spots. No doubt about it. But it's just polarizing to me that nobody will ever bring that up nationally. Nobody would bring this up nationally that Purdy has played just as well as a lot of quarterbacks in this league. And for some reason, I still think there's, even on Sunday, right, the Jackals, as Guru would say, are ready to hop on Brock Purdy if he can't help this team against a great defense in Kansas City. If he can't help the Niners win that game on Sunday. Like, if he wins that game on Sunday.
All the good quarterbacks in the league, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, like when he was good, everyone is waiting to jump down their throat for why they lost all the time. All the time.
Right.
They had Josh Allen lost that game to that Jets team, I could have seen the next day everyone. That's what happens at the position. Now, I do believe Brock, more than most, gets over-criticized nationally.
Exactly. And those guys are made men. We can continue the conversation. 888-957-9570. We got Herm Edwards coming up at 7:20. The former coach of the New York Jets and, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll talk to Herm Edwards at 7:20 about this game on Sunday. We'll get into Andy Reid and Bill Belichick as well. What coaching tree would you rather have? Bill Walsh, Andy Reid, or Bill Belichick? Fascinating coaching trees. We'll get into that, too, as well. That's coming up, brought to you by Fremont Bank, celebrating 60 years of full-service banking with no compromises.